Welcome to How to Money with Cole and Cole.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Cole.
We coach people every day on their money and how to plan for the future.
As financial advisors, we're here to have an honest conversation and educate you on how to money. Intentionally and passionately to hit your money goals. And we'll throw in some sports talk along the way.
Our mission and goal of this podcast is to improve your money journey and help you create the financial life you deserve.
So let's talk money.
And sports.
Welcome back to How to Money with Cole and Cole. Here to talk about all things money, business. We're going to have another special guest again, but first, let's see how the guys are today.
You know, I'm doing pretty good. I'm heading south for Florida in a couple days, so I'm ready to roll.
Can't complain there. I'll be there with you.
Yeah.
So.
What's going on in Florida?
So we have a CFG convention trip, so you had to hit certain numbers. Bailey didn't quite make it, but we're not going to talk about that. And so you had to hit certain numbers, and then you got to go to Florida for 3 nights, 4 days. And both me and Cole are heading wheels up tomorrow. It's tomorrow morning. Gosh, I can't believe it's tomorrow morning.
I know, it's great. This week's been a blur.
I know, it has been. But yeah, there's supposed to be like rain all the time we're down there, but we're still gonna have
It's
fun.
Florida, though. It rains. You know, there's a chance of rain like all the time.
I went-
Florida.
I went to Florida last summer and it rained every day we were there. But it was like nice weather, but then there'd be 1 hour in the afternoon every day. It
Yeah,
rained.
it's gonna be 90 degrees every day, so looking forward to that.
Yep.
How about them
I
Cyclones?
was just going to say.
How about them Cyclones?
Let's go, Cole.
Yeah,
Cole
good,
with the only right prediction last week.
Was that me? Did I?
No, it was,
No,
it
Cole
was,
Peterson.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I didn't think I picked Cyclones, so.
And I backed up Cole Peterson on that, so.
Let's be honest. It was ugly football.
Oh
Like,
my
it wasn't
gosh.
good football.
Actually,
No
was
one-
a fun football game to watch, though. There were so many like turnovers, and
There should have
they
been a lot more
fouled-
points. You
Yeah,
know, there was
both
turnovers
teams-
in the red zone.
Both teams fumbled on the 1 yard line, and how does that even happen that 2 times? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Pretty crazy, but good for the Cyclones.
Yeah,
You know, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Was 7?
I think it was 6, but
6
yeah.
straight losses. So
And it was at Iowa, so it was a big deal.
yeah.
And no offense, this is going to hurt me too, but we did lose in golf at the Growth Alliance to Cole
I
J, which it was pretty much Cole versus you.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yep.
Got to help out both sides.
Cole Peterson didn't have quite the support that Mr. Cole Jaski did, with Kirsten Mason dropping about 5 putts in a row on 5 holes. Now, you did a better job than getting them in the position, but we only lost by 1.
It was
Next
fun
year.
though. It was
I-
fun. Yeah,
It was.
double
Had a
or
great
nothing.
time.
I
Double-
don't sense any bitterness coming from Cole Peterson involved in this.
No, and it only cost me a lunch, which is better than sometimes on the golf course.
Yeah.
No,
Betting.
but yeah, I think my team played above expectations. Though if I were to put that
100%.
What did I say we'd probably shoot before the start of the round, though? I said we're gonna shoot 7, 8, 9 under.
Yep.
We shot 8 and 9, and it took 12 or 14 to win or something like that. So
It was fun though, and a great day,
Oh, my
and it
gosh.
was awesome
Beautiful day.
support from the
Yeah.
community. You know, a great event. You know, shout out to
You gotta,
everyone that was involved there.
yeah, and you gotta appreciate this. Everyone in the office is super competitive. You know what? Like business owners, they're super competitive. Like you just gotta have that grind. I'm being serious, as you guys know, you're business owners. Our special guest today is a business owner. We're gonna talk all things entrepreneurs and money, and I'm sure he's a little competitive.
I bet he is a little bit.
You think?
I think so.
Like the NFL. It's pretty competitive. My husband's sad because now Dak Prescott is out for the season. And he's like looking at me like I'm supposed to care.
He's not out for the season.
Yes,
6
he-
weeks.
He's got to have surgery, so who knows?
6
It's still
to 8 weeks.
It's
Yep.
up
I
to date.
heard end of October was what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He'll be
and then
back before you know it. There's 17 games now. That's nothing. But
it's the best time of year though. I love.
Oh
my
gosh.
We had yesterday morning. It was like in the 40s. So felt not that I want cold weather, but fall weather. You know, there's playing fall golf and watching football on Sundays. Nothing better than that. So unless you're a Husker fan, a tough time to be a Husker fan right now. Not to
Can't
throw that one.
frost
Throw
two
that
games
out
of the
there.
year.
Georgia
Yeah.
Southern.
Rough.
Really?
Rough.
That's
You
like
thought-
losing to Iowa Central.
It stinks. I know so many Husker fans, and they thought when they got Scott Frost, it was like, oh my God, you know, this was the savior. And just talk about a loyal fan base, but tough situation there the last 5 years or so or more.
Go back to your Steelers though. Did you watch the game, the Steelers Cincinnati game?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh! I was
wild.
watching on the Red Zone channel, so I got the opportunity basically to sit on my butt all day last Sunday and watch football because me and Molly just decided we weren't going to do anything. And that game was crazy. That was kind of like the Iowa State game. It was like back
Weird
and
stuff.
forth, weird stuff. You know, best field goal kicker in the league last year, missing like a 42-yarder to win it.
It was
and it was
wild.
crazy.
After the Bengals Burrow had 5 turnovers.
Right.
Like, that's was a wild game.
If the Bengals would have won, it was like with the turnover margin difference. If they would have won, it was like the last time a team won with that turnover margin was like 10 years ago or something.
It just doesn't happen. In the NFL, if you turn the ball over, you typically don't win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Block, there's a little bit of everything. Block PATs, missed field goals,
so
turnovers.
So Jaskie's team barely won, and Peterson's team barely lost.
The Broncos.
Yeah,
on Sunday night. We had a 64-yard field goal to win it. I thought we played okay.
What
far as the
position
Broncos
did you play?
go.
I always do that.
Yeah, it's not funny.
It is.
No, my wife doesn't. It's not funny. Anyway, we, as in the Broncos team, played okay. Turned the ball over a little too much. Russ played okay. But, playing in Seattle's hard no matter who's playing. I mean, we lost to Geno Smith, quarterback for the Seahawks, and he hadn't started a game in like 8 years. So
probably not the opener Russell Wilson wanted to have there. Kind of a no-win situation there unless they did pull out the victory. So
they'll get better. First-year coach, first year as quarterback in a new city. It'll get better.
We're back home next week against the Texans. I think we'll be okay.
What an easy opening schedule, though. The Seahawks were not picked to be very great of a team. But boy, that'd stink to be 0-2 going into week 3.
So we will not.
Better get them fired. Better get the boys fired up.
I do not say this word on this podcast enough. I will guarantee the Broncos will win this week against the Texans.
We don't guarantee.
I will guarantee the Broncos win this week.
On that note, let's get ready to talk about someone other than our football knowledge and IQ and all things golf. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk with the one and only Craig Jarrard.
Brown Shoe Fit.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital.
Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market.
Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026 or visit our website www.spinmarket.com.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. Sitting with me and Cole is Craig Jarrard, owner of Brown Shoe Fit here in Fort Dodge. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Can't complain.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're excited to have you here. We're ready to talk about entrepreneurs in business and challenges, good things, bad things, all kinds of that. And first, we wanted you to introduce yourself a little bit to the listeners about your background and how you got to Fort Dodge and Browns.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the shoe business for me started pretty early. So I actually grew up in the shoe business. My dad had the Brown Shoe Fit store in Charles City, Iowa. So I literally started working in the shoe store in grade school.
Okay.
Didn't fall in love with it until high school. But junior year of high school, I decided this is what I want to do. I want to own my own shoe store. I want to work with successful people. Jumped into their training program in Charles City with my dad. Had the opportunity to move to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and train for actually 2 different owners out there. Kind of skipped the college thing. I did NIAC over in Mason City while I was still living at home, working at the shoe store. I decided pretty early I wanted to be an owner, and then I also wanted to learn from people who were actually doing it. No knock on college at all, because you gotta learn and you gotta have education. But I wanted to get my education from the people that are actually out in the field working on it. So moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I got to work for 2 owners out there. And then I got an opportunity to buy into my first business down in Alva, Oklahoma. Heard of Alva?
No.
Have not.
No.
Can't say I have.
No. I don't doubt it. Nobody has up in this part of the area. But town of 5,000 people, almost in the Panhandle. One of the wealthiest counties per capita in the state of Oklahoma. A lot of ranchers down there, wheat farm. it's green all winter down there instead of like here. The wheat is green down there, but that was weird. So we were down in Alva about 4 years. Knowing we wanted to get back to the Midwest the whole entire time. We wanted to get back to Iowa and raise our family here. My wife and I, Raquel, she are high school sweethearts. So she moved with me to Wyoming. She moved with me to Alva. Had our son down in Alva. Whole time knowing we wanted to get back to Iowa and raise our family. We got an opportunity in 96 to come back to Iowa and come to Fort Dodge and open our Fort Dodge location from scratch. So we have 72 locations. A lot of our owners, they don't get that opportunity. They're going into a business that's already established. So for me to get the opportunity to start from zero, fed my entrepreneur brain and motivated me so much.
Right. That's a great synopsis of what brought you here, and what caught my ear was you knew what you wanted to do your junior year of high school.
I know, man. It's rare, right? And
I think I still wanted to be an NFL football player in my junior year of high school.
That dream died fast.
Yeah, that's that same thing.
That's abnormal.
I agree, and probably some of your surroundings and what you grew up on, and that's what's cool too about entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial families, and around that. But I didn't realize 72 stores in the Browns organization. Obviously, you can own your own store independent. I guess I was just maybe explain that to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. At this time, 72 locations. We actually started in 1911 in Shenandoah, Iowa was the very first store, right? So long time ago. Sometimes when I talk to young people about coming into Browns, I try to be careful here because, history lesson. When you start with 1911, like you immediately lose people's attention.
It's
it's flashbacks to history class.
Before my grandmother was born.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So, but anyway, that was the start, right? So the cool part is when Brown wanted to open another location, only one person, you don't want to cut yourself too thin. So he found a partner. And he Charlie Perry was his first partner, opened Knoxville, Iowa. But when Brown was a partner in the store, Charlie Perry was able to buy in and be a partner in the store and run all the day-to-day. So now, same exact concept, which is super cool to me that it's the same way and we haven't messed it up yet. So same deal, 72 locations, 72 independent LLCs, and all of the partners have been managers and owners of Brown Shoe Fit stores. So the only way to be a partner in a Brown Shoe Fit store is to be a manager of a physical location. And then you buy a partnership in that LLC, so Fort Dodge for me. And then we can buy a partnership in other LLCs throughout the company as they become available. Same concept.
So you cannot own part of Browns unless you basically manage and work at Browns.
You've gone through the process. Sounds like there's a process of understanding. That's obviously a testament to a successful model. 1911 been around, right? Not a lot of things don't make it that long. So interesting, very interesting, cool story. Brings you here to Fort Dodge.
I would assume that you've experienced some ups and downs throughout 1996. Obviously,
Yes.
We're in 2022, so 37 years.
26, but quick math's hard.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
killing
usually pretty
it.
good at math.
Off a decade there.
I am killing it today.
We'll let that slide.
26 years. Jeez, I didn't even have the second number right.
Is that how you do your age too?
Oh, man.
Drop 10.
I'm 33.
Oh, add
Yeah.
10. Yeah, I dropped 10. I'm in my 50s, though.
Right. Okay, 26 years. You've experienced some ups and downs. Probably most recently, the COVID pandemic, I would assume, was something that maybe you can tell us about, being an entrepreneur during that time period and, what you experienced during a recession or a pandemic, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy times, right? And nobody knew, nobody had been through it. So again, with the 1911 timeline on our company, everything I've experienced up until March 27th of 2020, I've had somebody to call, or I've had a resource to go back to, whether it was my dad or whether it was some of my dad's buddies that were owners. A company that long, you just have a ton of resources and a ton of experience. Well, March 27th of 2020, when the governor asked all retail shoe stores to lock their doors, like a lot of other businesses, and immediately angry, right? You got to go through that, what's going on, and that was a Thursday night. We were locked up on that Friday. We literally had to lock our doors and not let any customers in the store. So by Monday morning, it was complete mind flip, and this is it's still like, doesn't freak people out, but they realize how weird I am, maybe. But I just took it on as a challenge of my career, and literally so that was end of March, say, right? So the month of April, we had to be closed, but Amanda Specht and Jazzy Porter were my two full-timers at the time, and we decided together, what can we do the month of April to make it, right, to survive? And we didn't even know if we were going to get a May 1st clear or not. I think it was about mid-April. They started talking about a May 1st reopen. So we had the month of April to get through and figure it out. We took our social media times 10. Amanda Specht took over all the content pieces. I found the bottom number that we needed to just break even, not make any money the month of April 2020. And I put that on the calendar, and every day, the three of us, Jazzy, Amanda, and I, walked through the day, and what do we need for a number to get to the number that we needed to break even. We crushed the number by 35%.
Awesome.
Yeah, made a little bit of money, but the more the merrier. We were down 50% for the month of April. But it was the single biggest win of my career, to be down 50% from a normal April, or 2019 April. It was more motivating, more exciting, got my juices going more than having a killer crusher month. And again, I've been at it for 25 years in Fort Dodge. I've been at it about 32 years overall at that time. So the weird thing, again, the COVID motivated me. The COVID helped me take on a challenge that I'd never seen before.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've got, it sounds like mindset. Yes. That's a thing, and very relative. You hear the entrepreneur, energy and stuff, but where do you think that comes from? Obviously, the COVID triggered you to kind of go into that, like, okay, I'm gonna control my destiny mode there. Where do you think that, what is attributed to that? I'm kind of curious. Yeah. What kind of brought you there, or how you think you trained yourself, obviously, at some point, like, okay, there's a problem, I'm gonna fix it, or I'm gonna have a solution. Where does that come from? Mom and dad. I mean, no doubt. Dad being my biggest mentor ever, right? But just the way you're raised, it is a mindset game, 100%. And I think about that a lot in business, and whatever I'm doing is you take it on or you don't. And with COVID, again, it was kind of like pioneer, right? Because nobody had been through it. I mean, we're talking about a company that's been through the Depression, and everything was new. Right. Everything was new. Yep. Nobody had any idea what was going to happen. So 2020, we almost made the year from 2019 to 2020. Because once things opened in May, we started rocking and getting it back. So we made our 2020. We company-wide, we were down 40% in 2020. We had stores down 90% in 2020. We almost lost a few, mostly out in Colorado, because things were just super weird out there and way more challenging. I mean, and you guys get this completely, but the Midwest is the best. Yeah. I mean, people are way more common sense. They just don't swing, as much. So
100%.
Yeah, yep. we love the Midwest.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say, what a testament to pivot, because a lot of people did look at COVID restaurants, the shoe business. I mean, just having a storefront with clothes and shoes in it in today's world, even a pivot with online. So what a testament to you. But you said something about upping your social media, and I've noticed your guys' social media, and talk about the importance of networking and building a strong team around yourself to be able to pivot in those situations. You've created a great team.
Yeah, that social media piece, one of the coolest parts was because we were holding some numbers, and we get company-wide, we get weekly, monthly from all 72 stores. So we were getting some phone calls on, what are you doing? Because we were holding some numbers. And so we started doing social media for some of the other stores around the company. And now we continue to. Currently, we have 12 stores that we work with and handle their social media. But the biggest part of that, 100%, I would not have done that by myself. So like Bailey said, the team aspect is the only way to get that done. If it was up to me to post 10 Facebook posts a day, not happening. Not happening.
You got to have a good team around you. Yeah,
you got to build that team. And Amanda Speck took the content, and I have another gal that runs the backside of Facebook. She knows it inside and out, and so she still works with us currently. But so the team building at store level, we now have 6 full-time people. We have 12 part-time people, so we're running a crew of 18. And 100%, I can't get any of the success done without a big team. So
right. That's the best thing I think successful entrepreneurs do is they build a team around them. They don't try to take it on all themselves, because you can't, and especially as you grow and you get bigger, you've got to build a team around you that you trust and do things there. So we were talking earlier, and I thought this was interesting, and it's a testament to your dedication to Browns that just 2 years ago you started taking Saturdays off. So you're 24 years into the business. I think I did the math right that time.
There we go.
24 years into the business, and you just started taking Saturdays off.
Yeah, and that was 24 years in Fort Dodge, right? So I started, back to the working at Dad's store. I worked almost every Saturday as a high school kid. So, right, that's weird. Again, I get it. I'm weird sometimes, but I worked a lot in the shoe store, and Saturdays were the day. Like, you wanted to work Saturdays because that's when you're rocking and selling some shoes, and it's fun. But being a business owner, we were open 7 days a week for 23 years in Fort Dodge. But I did a pretty good job of avoiding Sundays. Raising a family and just committing some time to them. I did commit the Sundays, but 6 days a week for 3 years or something, man, it's crazy. You definitely have to have the stomach to handle that business ownership piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just sitting here thinking about that. We're kind of in this instant gratification world right now, with young, not so much young anyone, just all generations kind of going through it. And it's cool to see and hear your passion, obviously for the business that you end and running and owning your own business and talking about your team. So today was my first day actually meeting you. So it's pretty cool for me to see. And I love it. I can tell, like, even just and I'm getting off topic here, but just seeing the glow in the room, energy's contagious, and being around good quality people is a contagious thing.
You're not going to be able to get coal out of your store from now on.
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur now.
He's going to be over there picking your brain about everything.
Yeah, I haven't sold you shoes yet, but I'm guessing 10 and a half, and I got a few picked out in my head.
A little bigger.
All right.
Well, I'll give Craig a little bit of a break, and I know we're running short on time, but I had a story that rung true to me as an entrepreneur that I learned when I was at Principal Financial Group, and it was a portfolio manager talking about how he picked companies to invest in. And he had went to a conference, and this guy told this story, and it was the owner of Fastenal. You may have heard of that company. They do screws and nuts and bolts and things like that. And the owner one day got up at 6:30 like he always did, ate his breakfast, went to the office, and it was a Monday, and 8 o'clock came around and nobody showed up. And so he calls his wife and he's like, "Honey, what's going on? Why is nobody coming to work?" She goes, "Well, it's Memorial Day. You're at work at Memorial Day, but you're so used to going to work on a Monday that you just got up and went." And that's what it takes for a successful business owner. I don't say you need to work I don't work on Memorial Day, but I'm just saying, like, that mindset of you get up, you go to work, and you work, and you work from whatever time you set your hours, or sometimes as business owners we don't have hours. We just work when work needs to be done. So I just thought that was a cool story that I would share, and that was something that rung true to me when I wanted to have my own business. Like, you've got to have that dedication that you're willing to work when nobody else is.
Yeah, drive. Mindset's huge, right? And then the drive, right? That's the piece that if you don't have that drive and want to go to work and want to make your business successful, it's not going to be, because as a business owner, like you guys are, no one else is going to do it. You got to get in there and do it.
So talking about, entrepreneurship, and I think we probably all have some mentors. You talked about your parents, being a big impact, but talk a little bit about what you're doing at Browns and some of the mentoring and things you got going on with some of the younger folks. Yeah,
absolutely. That's truthfully at 53 now and being in it as long as I have, it's my favorite part is finding young people that want to be around the shoe store, and then we're just looking for really good people, and we're not necessarily looking for that business owner right out of the gate, but we just want to get good young people in the store. And what I've found is about 1 in 7 fall in love with the shoe business like I did. And that junior year when I decided I wanted to do it. But they get in there, they start learning some of the business pieces, they start working with customers and buying product and selling product, and we get them hooked. They get hooked on being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. So we've been able to, I kind of lost track, truthfully. I'm definitely in the 20s as far as getting a young person started into the shoe business. Out of those, again, the numbers I'm not sure, but probably have had 15-ish become owners, and still currently have 9 people that I've brought through the Fort Dodge store that are out there running a business, running a shoe store, and becoming partners in other stores. So
wow.
Definitely one of my
That's
favorite
awesome.
pieces.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Kind of makes me wonder what I'm doing with my life, Cole.
Yeah, I know. That's
Congratulations to you, yeah.
Common trait, though, it seems to be with, the successful entrepreneurs, a lot of times that, their best people leave them, but they end up starting their own business, right? And that's a very good sign as a leader and as a business. If you're growing, or you're losing some of your good people, it stinks, right? Because you're losing some of your go-to people, but seeing them bloom and success, obviously very fulfilling for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the people that I've had come through, I've tried to keep them. I mean, and it's exactly what you're saying, Cole. They're great people, and I've offered them full-time jobs and stay in Fort Dodge and let's grow this thing together. And but when you have that spirit, when you want to be a business owner, I also know and very proud and happy to send them on their way to be a business owner, because if you have that, you just got to go chase it and do it. And Browns offers a fantastic opportunity to do that.
Every successful entrepreneur, I think, wants to be a mentor just to somebody else in their business. And I think if you have that mindset where you're willing to go out of your way to teach someone what you do and how you've been successful, that I think that is the way to be, and that's how you become a successful entrepreneur, and people will follow in your footsteps. And I think that's a testament to you, Greg. So
thank you.
I'm going to wrap it up on this question. So you do Community Fit Night here in Fort Dodge. You also do a lot of stuff in the community. Talk a little bit about Fit Night specifically, but what else Browns is doing in the community for Fort Dodge.
Yeah, the third Thursday Fit Night, was a dream. Originally, when we started talking about it, was 2014 actually, and we had our first season and first kickoff was April of 2014, which is crazy that we're in our 9th season. Original thought was 30 Thursdays, and which is every Thursday, April through October, and I'm glad we didn't stick with 30 Thursdays. Because we have 7. So we run April through October every 3rd Thursday. And, right from the get-go, we wanted it to be a community event. Our original thought was it grow into a community event. We did not expect it to be that right out of the gate. But we wanted to get people out in our neighborhood. And at that time, the sidewalks and the Fifth Avenue project, the 2030 project, all that was pretty new back in 2014, right? And the sidewalks out there, we just felt like we wanted to get people on them. So that was a lot of the drive, was just get people to our neighborhood and maybe to our parking lot too. But, right. I love hosting it. I love it being at Brown Shoe Fit. But as it's grown, in August of 2019, we had over 300 people show up for Fit Night. Our start in 2014, we had 24 people at the very first one. But we felt the energy of it. We felt people wanting it. So we committed to let's stay with this thing and let's just grow it. So again, I'm a little all over the place, but 9 seasons in, we love it. We have community partners now. So that's been another big piece, that we have a lot of community partners who are businesses in the area, and they're part of Fit Night also.
Just so everyone knows, just to make sure what Fit Night is, everyone gathers at Brown Shoe Fit. You walk, how many miles is it? It's a certain path. And then you guys do a little giveaway and feed everyone. It's a really cool event. I've gone to it. I've taken my kids to it. I just wanted to clarify what Fit Night was.
Right.
For the listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we map out a 5-mile course. And then I think the other thing is, people hear the word fit, they can get a little intimidated by it, right? But please don't. Fit Nights for all fitness levels. We map out the 5-mile course, but you can literally walk, jog, run as far as you want, and then you literally just turn around and walk back. Our record, I'm pretty sure she was 92. She walked down to Wells Fargo, so just down to the corner, and then turned around and walked back. She participated in Fit Night.
That's awesome.
And it's so cool. And then it has turned into a young family event. We get a lot of kids. We've had infants. So the 92-year-old's on our top end. We had a 2-week-old baby there, and so that's the range and the age range. So if you fit between 2 weeks and 92. Or if you want to break the top end record, come on out and join us.
That's awesome.
I think it really just speaks volume to, like, being successful is one thing, but then also helping your community, give back, come to a podcast. I mean, you're always growing and learning, and it would be easy for people to be like, Craig's made it, he's done, but you're constantly growing, which is so cool. And so cool for listeners thinking like there's a lot of risk, but it's a lot of reward as a business owner. So
just to sum up this Fit Night thing to our listeners, is there any cost for anybody that comes to this, or how is that all taken care of?
No, there never has been, and as long as I'm running it, there won't be any cost to it. Community partners help us out a little bit, and then Tropical Smoothie's been a huge partner for us, and they help us out on some food. Hy-Vee's done food, Mineral City, Lefties, when Steve was there, they did some food. So as you're out walking, we go get the food, and then when you get back from your walk or run, you can grab something to eat. Typically enough to call it dinner, so you don't have to go home and cook anything, which is a bonus. And then we always give away some product at the end of the night. We do keep it very punctual. We do a 6:00 start, and we do a 7:00 wrap up with some prizes. We always have at least 2 pair of shoes to give away at the end of the evening, and some other cool stuff too to give away. So we keep it punctual because everybody's busy, right? And we want them to count on Fit Night being not drawn out, and they can count on that timeline and get on with their busyness of their lives.
Well, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you do that for the community, Fort Dodge, and I knew the answer to the cost thing.
Cole will be there tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, I'll be in Florida.
We'll be in Florida.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't make it for some reason, but
No,
last thing here, I know that you recently became a grandparent. First grandchild, Cole and Kelly Jarrard, had Baylor Brooks on March 25th. What's that experience been like?
It's crazy. I mean, kind of like becoming a parent, right? It's hard. You can never explain how the feeling is to someone who doesn't have kids, what it's like to have kids. But then once you have them, you're like, that's what they were talking about, right? It's so crazy. Grandparents the same way. You hear about it and you hear how awesome it is, and it's all of that and more. And because you get to hand them back,
Yeah, I was thinking that the whole time you were
That's
talking.
what my dad says all the time.
That's a common grandparent thing. Like, it's great, but when they get bad, we get to send them home. So
Yeah. Here's all the sugar. Go home.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks, Greg, for being here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. We really appreciate your time. We know it's valuable, and we'll see you guys again on How to Money with Cole and Cole.
Thank
Go
you,
Cubs.
guys.
You've been listening to How to Money with Cole and Cole, the podcast of Essential Financial Group, courtesy of Spin Market. Learn more about the Central Financial Group on their website, www.centralfinancialgroup.com.
For now, I'm Cole,
and I'm Cole.
and we'll see you on the greens.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associations Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Royal Alliance Associations Incorporated is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Royal Alliance Associations Incorporated. Material discussed is meant for general informational purposes only, and it is not to be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Diversification does not insure against loss. Any guarantees discussed refer only to fixed insurance products and are backed by the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.